Hello, Muskegon. It's August 20th, 2021. Hi, I'm your host. I'm excited today. It's our 1 year anniversary. This is 22. Of course, I'm Gregory T. Roberts, your host, and we have so much to be thankful for. But let's get into our normal format first. Today is August 20th, 2021. Welcome to the show. Listeners, thank you for listening on the radio station on the beat. You can also watch the show on Facebook on WUVS 103.7 or M106. Uh, ecstatic. I am so ecstatic today. Let's go into today's weather. Today's weather, Friday, sunny all day long, muggy, high of 86, low of 75. Tomorrow, Saturday, cloudy for that family reunion that's happening. High of 86, low of 68. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 82, low of 64. Monday, sunny, high of 82, low of 61. Your chances of rain are coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, 50% chance of rain, high of 86, low of 70. Wednesday, again, 40% chance of rain, high of 84 and low of 70. Once again, I said it is our anniversary 1 year ago, actually a little more, 1 year ago, actually a little bit before that, I approached PA with this thought that I had about this show that I wanted to do. And Paul could have said anything. PA could have said anything. Needless to say, you guys don't know that the right side of my vocal cords are paralyzed, and I struggle, but I don't have that radio voice like I used to have anymore. But PA didn't say no. He said yes. He said, "Come on the board." And this station welcomed me with open arms, and the show has been going 1 year. I have so many people to thank, so I need you to be patient. If you please will get on and tell us where you're listening from and give us a shout out, because I know we have people from listening from all over. Please do so. One thing I want to, I got to give thanks to God who, for him, I wouldn't be here. I'm so humble that he's using me. I also want to thank my wife who, I'm gone all the time and I'm studying all the time, and she's right there with me. Thank you, Emily, and my family, including Savannah, who is back in town. So all Savannah, Lisa, Mercedes, and everybody, thank you so much. Before I get into all the people that I want to give thanks to, like our producers and my producer, Janae, thank you so much. She has a hard job of booking guests and doing the thing, and she does it with the spirit of excellence. Thank you, Janae. PA, of course, and I'll be talking a little bit about both PA and Big Rob. But I got to take this opportunity to say, Muskegon, you did it. You did it. Let me tell you something about this radio station. In the Nielsen ratings, they do ratings to see what stations are 1 through 4, 1 through whatever. We're 4. Well, you say, why are you happy with 4? Reason why I'm ecstatic that we are 4, when you look at the other radio stations, they have like 40,000 watts, 20,000 watts, etc. We have 100 watts. 100. For example, I was in Ludington and I heard a radio station that is in the Nielsen ratings, and we're ahead of that. And that's because you are making that happen, Muskegon. This radio station is owned by the West Michigan Community Health Network. First aired March 2020. So much to be proud of. The format is urban and educational, as what you're listening to today. And you can look that up on Wikipedia if you need more information about the radio station. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to thank PA for his vision, his thought, in coming in. I want to thank Rob for being his side man, Mian, and the whole staff and everybody that volunteers or works for the radio station that does this. All right, let's talk about touring into. I want to thank Pastor Melvin Burns last week for giving me a week to go camping, a vacation, and Gemini, the poet. Thank you for being on as well. Our future here, it has always been to educate you, not to preach at you, is to educate you. And sometimes we do get on our shoebox, but it's because we're so excited about things that you need to know. There's a problem out there that if we don't address it, then we're in a real hurt. Okay. The problem is that there's fake news and all this kind of stuff. And also there's a problem that the real truth is not being told, and they're trying to pull the little information out. For instance, why is it that we have to wait for movies to find out women helped guys land on the moon? Black women, okay? So the true history is not being taught. And the thing is that we want to teach history as the whole history, all the history, to make sure people know about what's going on. And that's what this show is all about. Just to let you know, since last August, just do a rundown of some of the subjects that we had. We had DJ Hilson. We talked about Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Then we came on. We talked with Cedric Scott about mental health. We talked about Election Day. We talked about Supreme Court Amy Coney Barrett. And I want to thank some of the people that helped me with this show: Karen Bowie Jenkins, Pastor Melvin Burns II, Pastor Joe Lane II, David Professor Taki, and John Covington, and Ray Anthony, the election crew that helped me with this show, and our fact checkers as well. We covered election night. One of the biggest shows that we had was with Professor David Taki, with over 2,000 views in, I believe, in 48 hours, and it was a right to bear arms, and that happened on October 23rd. And then we came back at you and talked about more political news. And then we started to come up with this idea that we have a problem. We have a problem. You can't give political news. Let me tell you why. Because you guys are so dug in that you won't hear truth. That, for instance, you won't hear ideas. You won't come to the table and say what is right or what is wrong, or listen to maybe that person may have a good idea or bad idea. Maybe I'm thinking wrong. For instance, I will say this: everybody in Congress needs to go. But we don't give opinions. We give facts. And I want to thank you for that. So anyway, we came back, and some of the other people that we have covered is just so many. And Cooper Mish from the city clerk, Dr. Jeffrey Sterling, Representative Terry Sable, uh, oh man, Louis Churchwell, Troy Bell of the City of Heights, Jeffrey Lewis, Chief of Police Public Safety. Um, Let me go on and on and on of names of shows that we have done. I have a whole list right here of people and pictures that we can go through of shows that we've covered. Some of the topics that we talked about is, let's talk about the number one issue right now, the vaccine and what's going on with the virus. We talked about that in detail. We brought you experts and with like Dr. Jeffrey Sterling, who did an excellent job of coming on. We brought on other people to talk about stuff like Juneteenth. We talked about the primary elections that are coming up. Now, I just wanted I want to. The mayor Stephen Gowan came on. We had, and excuse me, because I'm trying not to forget some of the people, and if I did forgive you, it's because there's been so many individuals that have been on the show that have helped. I want to thank Nate and Sarah from Fresh Coast Alliance, and Sarah works for the Hope Project. They've been on, and they're still working as well. So a lot of people, and what I need you to do is that you can let this show know that PA and all those guys know that this show means a lot to you, because we're going to continue. We're going to continue to educate, continue to bring people. The one thing that we're not going to do is beg people to come on. I do the math. As I said before, we're fourth in the Nielsen ratings, but if you think about it, we only have 100 watts compared to 20 to 40,000 watts the other stations have. That means that we're making an impact in the Black community and the community of people that listen to urban music. We have 2 radio stations here, and that's a powerful voice. The problem is that for our producer and other people and people like myself is to get leaders on the radio. To get people on the radio. And we have a question already. Let me see that. Crenshaw. Let's see what she has. Says, man, says, what do you think about how Joe Biden is handling Afghanistan? Okay, that's a great question. Here's the thing. There is a commitment. Let's go back with President Trump and America First that said that they were going to pull out Afghanistan and Iraq and all of that kind of stuff. People seem to forget that. And now Joe Biden pulls out of Afghanistan. Now, did we need to pull out of Afghanistan? Absolutely, yes. The way that it was handled, not so good. Why? Because there are lots of people in Afghanistan that are trapped, including Americans, and people that helped us in that war that are trapped in Afghanistan. They're trapped. And we could have got those people out of the country first before we started moving all our troops out. Yeah, I watched an awful scene where a guy was on a plane and the plane took off, and the guy, he held on to the wheel and fell off the wheel and dropped off. So I guess my answer to that is this. It could have been handled better. They could have got the people out and then left the country. And let me tell you, people that say that about the Taliban. The Taliban was going to take over that country anyway. I'm just going to, facts are facts. You are talking about a region that has always had trouble, always had trouble. And so, how do you get out of a country that has always had trouble? This is the one thing that that you're not, people are not giving credit to Bush, President Obama, President Trump, President Biden. Have you noticed in 20 years that there has not been a bombing in America? There has not been a terrorism act. There has not been anything that has not happened in this country. But we don't want to talk about that. So wouldn't that be success in some kind of way? Wouldn't you think that would be success in some kind of way? There has not been a terrorism act. Wait a minute, not from the Taliban. How about the terrorism acts that are happening from the people of this country? And see, that was what I was going to talk about. That what's going on in this country is that we are in trouble. This country, this democracy, this great melting pot is in trouble because we're split up and divided, and people think it's red versus blue. No, 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 no. It's hate, people. Don't get it twisted. There are people that dress up in different colors and wear different colors and speak differently. But the thing is what they want is a race war, and they want this country divided. And we're sitting up, holding on into our blue. Now, I'm wearing blue, but it's because I'm wearing my torn in two hat and stuff. But this domestic terrorism, thank you, Mary, that is happening in this country, we're not saying anything about it because we're too busy fighting amongst each other. And we're claiming that in the name of a party. I heard the most ridiculous thing reading today, where a congressperson said, and I quote, "If you didn't know what happened yesterday, there was a bomb threat in Washington, D.C." Now, it was taken seriously. The guy ended up giving up. That's domestic terrorism. Now, this is what the congressperson said. He said that we've got to watch out for these things, but I can sympathize for people that may be a little mad and upset with the way that's happening with government. Wait a minute, sir. The way that we deal with that stuff in this country is by voting. And the way that we deal with that is getting out and letting our voice be heard. We don't get out there by saying stupid stuff like that. And we don't get out there by threatening people. I'm just going to say it like it is. If you look at the facts of what's going on, let's talk about violence. We knew that the numbers of violence was going to go up. Well, why? Because of COVID. People were locked up in their house for a long time. And then people were just going to get out and just go buck wild. What did we expect? But yet now we're divided. We're divided. Man, what do you think about? Oh, we talked about that. Thank you, Crenshaw. Thank you. So anyway, this is what I would have done, and I want to make it perfectly clear about Afghanistan that we lost on nearly 2,500 troops in 20 years. Okay, you do the math. Think about how many people we lost on 9/11. Almost 4,000 people. We're not talking about that. Those people gave their lives so we wouldn't have those terrorism acts in America. But yet, now we got all this domestic terrorism that is happening. And the thing that people hate other people because of their skin color or gender or whatever. And we're sitting and we're locked in. We're locked up. Excuse me. And so these are the kind of issues that we're going to be talking and tackling for the next year. Why? Because we have elections coming up. And you don't think elections make a difference? And just happened in Connecticut, the Republicans took over the House and the Senate in Connecticut the first time in many, many, many years. I'm going to tell you right now in 2022 what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now. Because right now, voting rights are being taken away. Yeah, I said it. Voting rights are being taken away. They're doing it in local House, local Senates, and courts. And the federal courts are upholding these things. And let's get this stupid notion out of our head. Okay, I want you to think about, and I you know what? It's just gonna be that day. It's the first year anniversary, so let's call it TIS like it is. The election was not stolen. Was not stolen. To make something happen like that was stolen. The president election was not stolen. What happened was there were people upset with who the president was. So let's get that fact. Number two, January 6th did happen. And let me tell you, that was an attack on you. That was an attack on you. There were people that were going, when you're hang Mike Pence, what? When you saying the gallows out. Now, I want you to think, if that would have been, let's say, Black Lives Matter, would they even got that close to inside of the Capitol? And here's another thing. Why is it that certain senators, when they went back to ring the emergency bell that they were in trouble, they were unhooked? People, wake up. There are people, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal, would you please wake up and understand that there are people that don't understand or care that you are conservative, and don't understand or don't care that you're liberal, don't understand or don't care about roads, or don't understand about schools, that don't understand about church rights, that don't understand about how much money you have in your pocket. What they understand in clearer is they understand hate. Hate your brother. Hate your brother. Voting rights are being taken away. This is Mary Barrett. Republicans are closing polling stations. The public service, excuse me, guys, I don't have my glasses. Service machines were taken away, and mailboxes in certain areas were removed. You're absolutely right. Can you imagine people? And I'm not just getting on one party today, because both parties need to be ashamed of themselves for the stuff that they're letting happen. But let's talk about what happened in Texas right now. In Texas right now, can you imagine an area the size of Houston, Texas, with one box to put your votes in? One box. People take off those red hats and take off those blue hats, and if you claim to be an American, if you claim to love this country, stop. Get rid of this stinking thinking. I love what Prince said. The truth is the new minority. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to hide in your dug in. We're so dug in right now, you can't even bring the truth to people. For instance, we did a show on, and this happens to me all the time. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot about this. We did a show, and I wasn't even home. And this was a doctor that was talking about what's going on with vaccines and stuff like that. I wasn't home, and several people had sent me the opposite opinion. And now look, we look for people on both sides of the aisle. The thing is, we can't get a certain side to come on the show. Come and explain your side. We had Bob, county commissioner. And Bob, I'm just so sorry that I'm slaughtering your name right now. But he's the county commissioner head, and they're killing them. And we're trying to get people on to talk about why this is happening, and nobody will come on. Why is it that two county commissioners wanted to succeed from the county of Muskegon? People, oh my gosh, would you please wake up? This is my 1 year celebration, and I just wanted to celebrate, but it looks like we're going to have to get in some issues here. So let's review. Afghanistan, Joe Biden moved a little too quickly. He moved quickly. Got to call it like it is. Because the thing is that as long as there is Americans and people in the country that help this country be in that war, so less people would lose their lives, are still trapped over there, when the Taliban right now, and I don't care, they made an agreement with the Taliban. Well, the Taliban is showing how much that agreement meant to them. Just imagine your toilet paper, nothing. The Taliban right now is going door to door looking for people. They would have done that if we got all the people out, or in the present situation that is right now. So how do we fix this situation? You know what? I don't know if they can get enough planes to get 80,000 people out of the country. 20 to 80, I don't know, 20 to 80. I don't think that's going to happen. But they are Americans over there, and you know what? The situation is not going to end well unless we as people come together and say, take care, rectify this situation. Stop being I've seen so many posts saying that Democrats, you got to own up to this. Joe Biden, it's your fault. Okay, all right. Let's go back to our last president that said that it was going to happen and he was going to pull out by this time anyway. See, that's the thing that bothers me. Nobody seems to remember that. Nobody seems to remember what was said by the last president or the president before or the president before that. That's what this show is all about. And I thank you guys for your questions. If you have any more questions or you want to send a shout out for our 1 year anniversary, please do so. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back to talk about where we're going for 2021 and 22. See you in a second.
The second annual I Am Her Feminine Hygiene Drive, supporting young ladies from Ghana, Africa in need of everyday essentials and feminine hygiene products, was a great success. Thanks to the generosity of our community and organizations like Period.org, Muskegon Heights Public School Academy, Confident Cosmetics, Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Inc., and everyone who made a contribution. Hundreds of young ladies and village members received essential items. The community made a lasting impact with more than 10,000 sanitation items donated. If you would like to help, donations can be made year-round by dropping off items in the donation shed at the Mays and Wright Media Center, located at 1877 Peck Street, or making a contribution to paypal.me/1037thebeat. For more information, call 231-727-5007. Thank you for supporting I Am Her Foundation.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically black and proud media. From podcasts to independent black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.
Welcome back to Torn in Two. I'm your host, Gregory T. Roberts. It's Bob Skolnick, and I want to make sure I took care of this. We're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Next week's guest will be Ken Johnson. He's a city councilman running for the city of Muskegon. He is running for mayor against Mayor Stephen Gowan. He will be our guest next week. And the thing is that we want to seek the facts, and we have that big election in Muskegon Heights where we have a lot of candidates. So we're going to spend the end of August, September, and October interviewing those candidates. Once we can get all those candidates interviewed, where we're going to go is to get back to the conversation of educating you as far as other stuff other than politics, because the show has changed from a political show to news and information. And we have brought in just some dynamic people from all over the country, and we want to continue to do that as well. But we need your help. How can you help? Okay, what you can do is that you can spread the news that Muskegon has a show that's for them, that we want to talk to Republicans, we want to talk to independents, we want to talk to Democrats, we want to talk to people that don't vote. We want to talk to them. We want to find out why they are that way, and maybe they can educate us on some issues. So tell them that they have an open invitation. All they have to do is call Lady J at area code 231-727-5007, and we'll get you on. Maybe you have a topic that you would like us to talk about. Again, call Lady J, 231-727-5007. Lady J, if you can post that would be wonderful. She works hard, and I really couldn't do the show without her. I don't think I thanked Mian as well, because we are also on M106, and he does a fine job on that radio station as well. Now, let's get back to where we're going to go. I think people underestimate this station. They underestimate the station. Why? Because we're play urban music on M106. We play oldies music. Maybe it's music not to your taste, whatever. Here's the thing. The problem is that especially election season, why wouldn't you take the opportunity to talk to people? Which brings me to this point. There are people that are in office right now that we have we've called several times. There are people that lead organizations that are supposed to represent minorities that we've tried to talk to try to get them on. We can't make people do them. We can't make people come on. But doggone it, we're not going to beg you. Because here's the thing. Aren't you a public servant? Shouldn't you get out and tell people what's going on? So are you going to cherry pick? I'm going to tell you, we're happy. 100 watts, only 100 watts, but we're fourth in this municipality, in this area. These 17, 18 cities and townships. We're by the grace of God, this is going on. But yet, too many times, people skip us. So where do we go from here? It's 2:35. We're down at the bottom of the hour. We're going to do our best to bring facts to you. So turn off Fox. Please, please turn off Fox. Turn off MSNBC. Please turn off CNN. Please turn them. I have people that I know that watch those shows 24/7. And I'm going to raise my hand. I would watch all those channels to try to find truth, break the glass, get rid of the smoke, and we try to do it. And you know what? All those channels are slanted. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you their opinion. You might find 5 minutes of news in an hour and 55 minutes of slanted crap. That's what you're going to find. Remember in the old days when the news used to be such and such had a fire on 5th Street. School scores are down according to blah, blah, blah. The Big Reds scored 55 points in the victory against Union. Muskegon Heights won in the basketball game 88-23 against what? That was the news. Facts, figures that you could tangibly see. But we don't see that anymore. People, right now, we're in the midst of a virus and it ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, it's getting stronger. And now they're suggesting that most of you will need a booster shot. And we're still arguing about if it's just a cold. You don't need a mask. How about this? I'll tell you what. If this is America, why did we let this issue get politicized? Why didn't we put our best minds together? I don't care on what side of the aisle and say, okay, we have something in our country that we need to take care of, but yet we made it political. And it is still political. As a matter of fact, you can't go places where people say, hey, all those people that get those shots are stupid, or the people don't get the shot, whatever. We got people still arguing about something that's going on, but yet, I'm still getting phone calls of people who are passing away. Now, people talk about COVID testing. And I'm just going to go out there. I have a family member whose husband has COVID. Yes, he has, but he took the injection. So how do we explain that? Okay, so where's our brightest minds to talk about this stuff? People stop fighting against each other and realize that the war is not about blue or red states or blue states. It's about race. It's about money, rich and poor. You think I'm lying? Look at the Dow Jones, doing very well. Doing very well. So we got to turn this thing around. We've got to spin it. So I need your help. We need guests. We need the guests, and we call. Trust me, for people that's on the blue side of the aisle, we call. We get maybe one or two. I have never, so far in 1 year, got one Republican. No, I got one. I did get one. In office, one person in office to come on the show, and that was Bob Skolnick. We had Ray Anthony, who represents the Republican side, and Ray has been on the show, but Ray works. So the thing is that if we want to find out what's going on both sides, we need to hear from people. You're welcome to come on the show. You're absolutely welcome, because please explain to me some things. Now, I know some of y'all driving and some of y'all may be hot. Talk to me. Please talk to me and let me know what you want to hear and what you want to do, because right now it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me that we have to fight for an infrastructure bill. Well, people say, well, we're spending so much. Where's all this money coming from? Do you know that the last administration spent $4 trillion and nobody's saying boo? Okay, well, he had to spend that money. We had COVID, we had all kinds of things. Yeah, but he also gave a tax break to the rich. That's why I'm saying that you people have to understand that these tax breaks and incentives that we need right now. For instance, I'm gonna talk. I'm transparent. Okay, when the rich got their first tax break a couple years ago, I wrote my first check to the IRS for $1,200 on top of what they took. People, wake up. Why is it that you guys are protecting the rich while people protect the rich? When the rich are, if you're making over 400 some odd $1,000, okay, all I'm saying is this: I don't care what you make. If you make money in this country, this should be a no brainer. I need you to wake up and I need you to like take the wax out your ears because this is a no brainer. Why in the world? Why in the world would you fight to let people not pay their equal share of taxes to maintain this country? I would love to hear Melania Pago point of view. That's I would too. I would too, Mary. Thank you. All right. So if you think I'm lying about this, Walt Disney's daughter did actually came out with a couple excellent videos on YouTube. She said, "I'm rich. I have money. I don't need another tax break because what people are doing is buying yachts. They don't know what to do with their money because they got too much money." I don't care. If you are in this country, if you worked your way to owning and earning a certain income, good for you. But why should the loopholes be different for you when it comes down to taxes? Why should you pay less and I pay more than you? So that's going to be something we're going to look at, because the thing is that this country is broken. Why should certain school districts get more money than others? Well, okay, we're going to go into because of taxes and because of incomes of that particular municipality and all that kind of stuff. Stop it. Stop it. This is America. We're broken. We can't have areas that have poor schools and others that have great schools. Well, then they can move and they can. No, that's the problem. We're telling kids and people that you have to move out of your neighborhood to have success. You can't live in this area. You got to go to another area over there to have success when we can't have it here. And you know where that starts? I'm going to tell you where that starts. We just had an election. We just had an election in the city of Muskegon. The voting in the minority area is pathetic. It is pathetic, and we keep crying that we want better, but we vote terrible. Our ancestors would whoop us. I mean, like take us in the back and make us get a switch, and it better be a tree trunk, those kind of whoopings. Because what we're doing, we're letting, let me get it, the numbers, I'm giving you numbers, people. I'm not sitting up here making this up. If you look at the city's numbers, you can look this on the county election, the last race, the last election. If you look at everything on the other side of the highway and add those numbers up, and then take the 4 precincts on the west side, if you can actually take 2 or 3 of them, they would outnumber what's happening on the east side. And this is what we keep trying to say on this radio station, where we keep begging and pleading and coming up with facts like, Hitler was voted chancellor by one vote. And we bring up all these examples of how one vote made a difference in this race and this race. And we say it until we're blue in the face, and nothing. And nothing. It's my 1 year anniversary, so hey, Tornado 2 is going to stay. Why are we going to stay? Here's the reason why we're going to stay, because what you see on TV is crap. The voting numbers are crap. Somebody has got to stand up and say, look, the west side of this city controls what happens on the east side, and controls what happens on the whole side. Mary Bird, we need to do a better job of getting this info out. We need to do a better debunking false info. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We have to debunk this information. I heard from a candidate that said that a lot of people on the east side said that they weren't voting, and it made a difference. It made a difference. Right now, the speculations of all this false information that's going on, that it's like the hanging chads in Florida from several years ago. That these false votes that came from Argentina, Venezuela, and all this stuff is coming up. And people, you still are sitting up and you're eating this stuff. Why? Is it that you're eating drama? Or you don't want the facts? The fact is this. This country is in dire straits. Another thing is that this is according to the census. According to the census, who's number one right now won't be number one in a couple years. And that is causing a problem with some people. They don't want to be number two. And so what they're doing is they're spreading false information to make you think that this is a Republican or Democrat problem. The Democrats are socialists. They're bad people. They're awful. The Republicans, look at them. If we would get people say, well, we need to have a way where they could term limits. Yeah, we need term limits. Can I tell you something? We have term limits. It's called voting. It's called getting involved. We can get rid of people. And right now, I'm telling you, what's in Washington stinks. What's in Washington stinks. What's in your local, it smells. It reeks. And we need to do something. And if we don't do something, people, your rights, as they are being taken away right now, is only going to get worse. It's just look it up. It's just not my opinion. Don't worry about the fat man in blue here making up all these things. It's facts. It's facts. If you disagree, you got time on this radio. But bring me facts. So it's 2:50. I got 9 minutes to talk to you where we're going to go. We want to bring you facts. We're going to bring information to educate you. We're in the next several weeks. We got a lot of candidates that are going to be coming on. And then every now and then to break it up, to find the stories like Dr. Sterling. We had a wonderful guy, and I wish I could think of his name, that Racism Through White Eyes, that wrote that book. Just a phenomenal guy that was on the show. We need to find out and bring people on to talk from a different point. But we also need to have people that will be able to listen. In other words, we need people to come to the table. What? We need people to come to the table to be able to listen to your gripes, but to say, hey, you got a good idea. Number two, we're going to talk to you about you taking care of your neighbor. What do you mean? Some of y'all don't even know your neighbor. I tell you what we decided to do. This is what I decided to do. I said, you know what? There's some neighbors that I don't know. You know what? We're going to have a family reunion. You know what? You make it happen. We had a guy on in Lansing that took over a whole mall strip, and he's going to make it into a drive-in, a place where people can come and make music and make concerts. There are a lot of abandoned buildings around here, and the only thing that's missing is your dreams. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to continue to let you know political elections and views. When those campaigns and those elections come up, we're going to let you know the numbers, the voting trends. Because let me tell you the voting trends right now. The voting trends right now across the country is leaning red, leaning conservative. What usually happens in a race on an off year or a presidential race, the other party takes over. Well, that means Democrats right now, you're in charge, but in 2002, you're going to be in trouble. I'm just telling it like it is. If people don't get out and realize the shenanigans that are going on, you're just going to be in trouble. And this is all facts. I dare you to look it up. Number 4 or 3, 4. I got so excited. I don't know where I'm at. 4. I study this stuff, but I'm not an expert. So what we're going to do is make sure that we bring on experts to the show on certain things that mean stuff to you, like vaccines, like masks. We're going to bring on experts. And then at the end of the show, let you think about it. Let you think about those issues. So we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to make sure that you know about the history of Black people. Well, isn't history all history? Yeah. But it's not being told, people. All history is not being told. History is told and controlled by the people that are in charge. Well, and oh my gosh, I hear this all the time. Why is it that you people, you got your own TV station? Like, why do you need a channel like BET, Black Entertainment? Because you guys got 20 other thousand stations. And even BET doesn't necessarily get it right. Oprah's channel don't necessarily get it right. In other words, people, history should be all history. In states right now, they're voting to get rid of some history. But yet we've got to dig. We got to scramble to find out what has been true. Why should we? Why are we not proud of our country? Why are we not proud of the attributes that people have applied to this country? Why are we hiding? Because a Black man made the stop. Like, you sad about that? That's the stuff that we need to embrace. And those are the things that we're going to let you know. History should be history. All of it. You can't sit up and talk about part of the Civil War and leave out the rest. Well, why did the Civil War start? It started because people took other people from a country and called them commodities. And to continue, there are people that think that this man is less of a man because of my skin color. Sorry, forgive you. The devil is a liar. I made in the image of God. So that's where we're going to be heading. Again, I want to take the time to thank all our guests. There were so many guests that I left out that made this show entertaining so much to you that I get phone calls. I give you an example where phone calls work. On Facebook, somebody found out some information that there's some people that were going to come in town. They're going to come in town. This was right after the George Floyd incident, and that they were going to come in town and try to blend into the people. By the way, you see what happens when the city and when people get along. Our protests, you see how we protest? Nothing broken. Everybody got out and did a wonderful job. I got a phone call of some information that was very truthful, or a list of stuff sent from a hateful organization and what to bring, and they were going to tear up Muskegon. I called some individuals, told the individuals, are you guys aware? They said, yes, we are aware. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, downtown Muskegon, 75 straight troopers and a whole bunch of other people pulled in. See, people, you see what happens? We can work together. And guess what? No broken windows, no broken buildings, no buildings set on fire. People, we can work together. People, if we'll just watch our neighbors and take care of each other and be willing to think, but be willing to accept that your thinking might not be center. It might be a tad off. That's what we're going to do, be working on in the next couple until they take me off. And then when they take me off, we got a lot of people that can take my place. It's our 1 year anniversary, people. I am humble that God has used me as a servant to be a voice. And that's what I'm going to do. Again, I want to take the time to thank PA for giving me this platform, for Big Rob, for his hustling, for Mian, for his hustling, but Lady J that is behind the cameras, calling people, sending thank you notes. I call her, I ask her, I have a request, and the only thing she does is say, can I have a glass of tea? And I do that. Muskegon, I want to thank you for making us number 4. But you know what? We're not going to stop at being number 4 because we want to be number 1 in giving you guys information, and we're doing a damn good job. But we've got a lot of work to do because if you want to stay home and not get involved, I guess that's your right. But if you don't see what's happening in this country, man, you are blind as a bat. Need you to wake up. My name is Gregory Roberts, Gregory Todd Roberts. And the reason why I used to have to use that, because there's some bad Gregory Roberts out there. It's torn in two. This is our 1 year anniversary. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. You guys take care. Listen, go do something good. Turn off the news. Go do something good for somebody. Take care. God bless.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40